Piercings are a popular form of body art and self-expression. And of course, a lot of people love it, but then it comes with some level of introduction of infection to the body system. A lot of people will be like, why? How? Do you know that when you pierce, it's just like the same way like you have a wound? And if the wound is open and not cared for properly, then it can introduce to your body infection. That's why people will tell you when you have a wound, they will tell you go take injection to prevent it from attracting infection. So if you don't do that, then you're welcoming some level of infection. That is the same way it is for piercing. And that is why I don't want that to be your case. I will be talking about 5 ways to prevent infection after your piercing. This is Lifestyle Show brought to you by Wuzamia Television, and I am Ayomi Kunda, only sexy sugar mommy of Lagos. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, do it right now. Follow every of our social media platform, and one thing, give this video a thumbs up and watch till the end because I'm sure you will learn 1 or 2.
Lifestyle with Ayomi Kunda, fashion, beauty, and culture. All of this goodies on WOTV, sugar mommy of Lagos.
Rightly said, piercing is one of the ways to step up your fashion game. A lot of people like it, but some don't like it. You see, personally, I would have loved to, have this kind of piercing game, but my love, I'm always scared because I feel like it will pain me and I don't want to go for it. But a lot of people go for it and they love it regardless. I'm giving them a thumbs up. So when we're doing that, we will not do fashion that will implicate us or cobalize us. Don't mind my combination. So for that reason, I'm giving you those 5 tips, and with those 5 tips, you say bye to introduction of infection or anything like that when it comes to you piercing and aftermath. The first thing is that you should follow the aftercare instruction. Of course, anybody that pierces for you, your beautician would have told you, okay, when you get home, do this, do that, wear this, wear that, use this to cover it, use this to cream it. All of those things, you should take note of it. Some people be like, oh, my body is a good body. When I do like this, like that, like, oh, it will just heal up. It's a lie. So if they've told you use this and all of that, make sure you are adhering to it. The traditional means that I know of, I've seen people go on with it, is the fact that they tend to get warm water and to dab that area they've pierced. And some people even add oil or anything that is like a lubricant to the piercing area, just to make sure that there is a lubrication and the iron does not get stuck in the piercing. So to always make sure that it is still moving, that's why they make use of that oil and several other means. Another thing is that you should keep the area of this piercing clean. It's enough that you're taking note of the caution for the piercing, but in the piercing area, they can also introduce infection. So to avoid that, you should get a saline solution and then you should clean the area with it to avoid infection introduction. Saline solution is something you can get everywhere over the counter in pharmacy. So just put your cotton bud in the saline solution and clean up with. But in case you do not have this saline solution, you can't get it, then you can prepare it yourself. All you need is non-iodized salt and just some water. Just mix the solution together, get a cotton bud, and then clean the environment just to make sure that it is not causing irritation, infection, or delaying the healing treatment. But before I continue, I need to let you know that you should never, under no circumstance, make use of alcohol base, alcohol, or hydrogen peroxide around this area or even in the piercing, because it will only irritate the environment. It would also introduce infection and might even elongate the healing process, and you don't want that. I am doing fashion, I don't want tug of war. Okay, to avoid that, don't do anything that has to do with alcohol in that area. Another thing you should take care of is that you should avoid touching this area. You see, the piercing is actually very beautiful, but then every time I just pierce my hair, I just say, calm down, Auntie Sade. I get it that you love it, but please, whenever you're going about this, your hands are filled with bacteria. With our hands, we've touched phones, we've touched gadgets, we've touched this and that, and introducing that same hand to where you have a wound, because of course it is being pierced and it is open. It's just open like this, waiting for the infection that will come in and close up. So it is not what you want. To avoid that, you avoid touching. If you would not have to touch at last, like you really have to touch, wash your hand properly, clean properly to avoid anything that will be like infection. You should also be careful of the accessories and the clothes that you wear. This is not because of anything. It's because of, let me just you here. It's not my own personal experience. Imagine that you have a belly button kind of piercing, and you now wear a clothes that is very tight, also one in nets, and at the point of pulling off the clothes, bam! It will just touch the belly button, and the what's it called now? The piercing is lifted in a way. Do you know that sharp pain? That pain that comes with it that will ring into your head and be like bang, 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 breaking time. It's not what you want. It's not even a pain that anybody should go through. To avoid that, be careful of the accessories, so it doesn't get to the piercing and draw it. And even if it does like that, it can extend the time of healing. It can bring in infection and even bring about some scar or even another wound entirely. So, and the last on the list is that you should watch out for all signs of infection. Signs of infection like swelling, discharge, like tobassing your milk, when it's already having this kind of redness, it's already getting red, you should be very careful. A lot of people will have the piercing and at the end of the day, it will not heal under 6 years, 7 years, it's already getting so bad. So you really need to visit a medical practitioner to avoid stories that touch. It can also come up with fever, chills, and some kind of feeling of illness. So when you start noticing that, you should go and see a medical practitioner because I'm Shogedara once again. Thank you very much for joining the Sugar Mommy of Lagos on this platform today, talking about our beauty, our health, because it's very, very expedient. Until next time I'll be doing this, I'm leaving with a lot of love, joy, peace, and happiness.
Lifestyle, fashion, beauty, and culture.